Hey guys, welcome back to another Strikers Media podcast. It's a safe space where we talk about daily topics, overall discussions going on around the world, and it's just a safe place for all of us here at Strikers Media.
Very safe place.
Yep.
I feel so safe.
Super safe.
Let's start off by introducing ourselves. Go ahead.
My name is Raffi.
My name is Jesus.
I'm Rashan.
I'm Leo.
And I'm Santos. So, we've done a couple videos now, right? But one of the things we kind of missed out on was kind of what brought us all here together. What kind of brought us all in together. I mean, I know most of you guys because of car sales and starting off with car sales. Leo I know for a while, but yeah.
Tell them, don't tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them you know us because you know these guys. You're like, hey, I know you guys because car.
We know you know us.
We know you know us. Tell them like, hey, I know.
No, I know them all from car sales. We all started pretty much around the same time, give or take. Maybe Raffi's been there probably the longest.
No, I was there before Raffi.
You were there before Raffi?
I was there before Raffi too.
You guys were all there before. Oh no, you came after me.
I came after you?
Rashan was a porter.
the last one.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I was a porter.
He
I was the last one in
car sales
sales.
and became one of the best car sales guys there.
Yeah.
So
For those that don't know what porter is, how exactly would you?
You would describe the porter as basically what we did. We
basic.
No, what we basically did was just make sure the cars are running for the most part. At least when John was a used car manager, we made sure the cars are running. If they had any issues, we reported to John, and I had the text like service it right away. That was pretty much like what we're dedicated to, and then obviously
also give salesmen rides, but you would never get nobody rides.
that was after.
We would go to Rashan to give us rides, and he'd look at us and be like, "Man, go find a car."
Car, man.
So before I was a porter, I was just a porter. So a lot of
you be riding Rashan.
Rashan would give me rides to the new car.
So you'd ride Rashan.
Keep it PG, man.
No, so
Nothing like that.
basically, I mean, my job wasn't to give you guys rides. John would tell me all the time, like before I became a shuttle, he was like, yeah, if they need a ride, you don't have to give them a ride. He was like, tell them to get a car off the lot. So basically, again,
Yeah, but like even when there was no car on the lot, you still like, look, car on the lot. I was like, no, the lot is empty.
no, like, there would be cars all the time, and Jesus be coming, bro, give me a ride to the lot, and I'm like, nah.
Bro, I thought
I
we
was
were
like,
tight.
I couldn't.
He'd be like,
I was
go get
a
your
lot
car.
of times, bro, I'd just be watching movies all day, and then
Yeah, you'd be laying.
there's plenty of cars.
I swear to God, bro, you're living his best life, bro.
I was big.
And then
time.
we told him, get into car sales, bro. You make a lot of money, And
No, well, there was a reason you got into car sales. You and Morris, they were cutting you guys from porters, no? Because they were cutting down the porters.
No. So the reason was I had a discussion with Mike. Mike actually convinced me because at the time I was working 2 jobs, and I've always worked 2 jobs. That's just I always wanted to make more money, so I was always working 2 jobs. And I just Mike was like giving me advice. He's like, you basically work in sales already, because I was working at the airport too. And he was like, yeah, get into sales, man. You'll do it easy. He's like, the same amount of time you spend in a day with both your job, you could just be at one location, and I live right by the dealership. So he me and him just talked about it, and I thought about it, and I talked about it with Morris, and then me and Morris was like, yeah, let's do it, bro. Like, let's talk to John. And we got into it, and then John was like, yeah, I think y'all do good.
You guys doing it together at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember Morris was in it too. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember more.
The reason I didn't want to get into sales is because
You saw the stress.
again, I was already working at sales, but then I would just see I would see the turnover, and then I would also see I don't know. A lot of people were dumb.
Yeah,
And so I
noticed.
a lot of. I mean, when I started, I feel like a lot of the salesmen there were fucking idiots.
They were.
and so it was so many idiots working there, and I would be annoyed just even as a porter. So I was like, I couldn't imagine working with them.
Leo's
as
moving his
coworker.
head like, yeah, man, those are idiots.
And I was like, bro, like these.
Bro, you're not talking
I was
about
like,
me.
yeah, I'm talking about you.
I was like, I had the outside view of like what a car salesman was and how people would complain about car sales.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, these dudes are all idiots. Like these damn salespeople. I'm like, how are they even working? I was trying to like figure it out, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to put myself I had no stress. Both my jobs were cool. I was chilling, and so it was like, I just didn't want to put stress on my life trying to get into something that was like these. Again, a lot of times they running with their head off. They asking dumb questions and stuff like that. And I was just like, bro, I'm gonna get into sales. I'm gonna be annoyed with customers because I already dealt with customers before, like front facing and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't see myself doing it right now. Which was actually, I mean, it worked out because I couldn't imagine if I would have gotten it earlier, like when Jesus was telling me, maybe things wouldn't have played out the same like where I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
when I started was peak, car sales.
yeah,
Man.
and so things would have been probably a little bit different, but that's why Mike just talked me into it, and then I was like, all right, I could do it. I mean, sales is sales everywhere you go. So I was like, all right, I mean, it's nothing for me. Like that's why I got into it. It was just cake work,
Yeah. Based on what you're saying, there was a lot of. Go ahead.
No, go.
There was a lot of pros and cons. for you not wanting to join and for you joining?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows. I knew about the money everybody was making, and just that was like the biggest pro. I mean, obviously I kind of lost some time, but then I kind of just learned the business. I was all about trying to learn it, and then obviously the cons is just not having enough time for anything else because it still felt like I was working 2 jobs, working 1 job, long days and stuff like that. But
sure. Something you brought up was the turnover rate.
Yeah,
there was a high turnover.
Oh yeah, when I started,
bro.
super turnover. Yeah.
I feel like the car sale industry, there's a lot of turnover. There's a high turnover rate at any dealership you go to. But I noticed at our dealership, there's a lot of guys that have been there for years, just because again,
only a few.
Well, no, it's all the younger guys. Like, for example, and if they do leave, they come back. Like, for example, Alvaro, he left and he came back, and came back, all of us have been there for, what, 2 years, 3 years now?
It's about 3 years.
I'm not there right now, but I'm trying to go back. That's only I left to another deal. I didn't leave by choice.
Don't come back.
I'm going to come back, but when rates come down. But, yeah, man, the turnover rate in car sales is just really high. And I feel like it's the older generation of car salesmen, like the old head type car salesmen that are like, you got to really sling, you got to, lie to the customers, and you got to really, really be a salesman instead of a consultant, which I think we do really well.
Yeah.
We don't really try to sell customers. We just consult them, and that usually works better.
Yeah, that does work better.
Those guys aren't used to the way the market is now, to where people have all the information online. Like, they can't just walk into a dealership and be like, oh, yeah, see, I don't know about this car or the pricing because it's not available anywhere. So you have to tell me, and I have to take your word for it. They have all the information online. So those older salesmen, they don't really like that. So they leave the business. They go check another dealership. They just keep going back and forth until they land somewhere for another year or two, and that's it.
Yeah. Yep. I know when you were there and you were trying to convince me, but how was it back then when I wasn't trying to be in sales?
I know. The reason I was trying to convince Rashan is because I heard he was working 2 jobs and stuff, and I'm not gonna lie to you, for the first 3 months I started there, I made some really good money where, I mean, I didn't think I'd see at age 21.
State a number.
Half 100.
Half 100. Say 50,000.
There was a time, especially right after COVID started, there was a time where the pricing was down and the market was up and money was up, and then it kind of started declining a little bit. But there was
shout out Donald Trump.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a point where we were making like 10, 12 G's a month, like almost guaranteed.
But I feel like it didn't decline right away. I mean, it started declining probably like the end of 2022.
I'm saying in the beginning, like when the rates started to come up.
Yeah.
Car sales kind of started going down. There was a little dip for a couple months, and then it kept going. But overall, we were making good money for a cool minute. Like every month, if you made under 10 G's, like I remember like Hassan would look at me and be like, "You're pathetic."
Yeah,
like
you don't want to make no money. What's wrong with you?
I remember all these.
They'll take you to an office.
I mean, the job is paying me 10K.
Our old GSM took my check one time, and I had made like $9,300, and that was like a big check for me because I was like, "This is the most I ever made in a month." Right? This is when I first kind of started. He took that check and he literally threw it at me and said, "You could do better." He literally looked at me and said, "You could do better. This is sad. I don't even want to sign this check."
No.
And I was like, "What?" Like, I'm thinking like maybe it's like $3-4 grand. I opened it. It's almost 10 G's, and I'm like, 2 weeks, 10 G's.
No, yeah. Back then they would take you to an office and tell you, "Hey, you're not performing." When you were making like less than 10 grand, they'd take you to the office and then say, "Hey, man, you're not performing. You're not doing this and that." It's like, bro, I'm making 10 G's a month. What you mean I'm not performing?
When I started, I was 20 years old. I was working at like a shoe store, making like $400 or $500 every like 2 weeks. Damn. Nothing. Bro, I was working like 8 hours a week.
Wait,
right?
What?
Yeah. That was like before I started. I got my shop, bro. And Jesus, this is what he told me. He said, "You're going to make more money here than you're going to know what the hell to do with." And I didn't believe him. I was like, nah.
And now he's got that money.
Nothing with it. Look, and then honestly, like,
it was break the whole table.
My bad.
That was you?
Yeah, I kicked it. But yeah, dude, I was like selling. My first month I sold like 12. My second month was like 16. My third month was like 25 cars. And bro, when I saw those checks, bro, it was like
you felt like a rapper, huh?
Yeah, I felt like a trapper, bro. For real, I had like 2 baby mamas and everything.
Stupid.
Just to clarify, he does not have any baby mamas.
Not yet.
Yeah, I mean, before that, I was working at Best Buy, and I mean, the pay at Best Buy wasn't bad while I was going to school, and then after school, it wasn't bad at all. But for that time, I thought it was pretty decent.
Or for what you had, like in your lifestyle,
Yeah, exactly. My expenses and everything, I had enough to save and do whatever I wanted, for the most part, within reason. And then his brother kind of hit me up come work here. He's been telling me since I got out of high school.
Yeah, I heard it took him a couple of years to convince you.
It's because Santos was Geek Squad, bro. So he's so proud about that title.
No. I was Verizon rep, but it took
Were you better?
it's better.
You were at Verizon?
I was
And Best Buy.
At Best Buy.
Like,
I
you know,
was like,
the little like phone sections.
yeah. Like Verizon would pay me, not Best Buy.
Santos was like installing screen protectors, thinking he was like a superhero.
Bro, that's hard. A lot of people find it hard to install screen protectors. I came through for them, but I would charge them $10. But either way, he had been telling me since I was as soon as I got out of high school, like, you should do this, and I would see what kind of cars he was driving. At that time he was young too, and he had like a Scat Pack at that time, and I thought it was like, oh damn. He had an RS5 at some point.
CRX.
And I was like, damn, okay.
TRX?
Yeah.
Why did you get rid of it?
He sold it.
Yeah, he sold it. What did he get?
You made
like 10 G's or something.
He sold it and got the Benz, no?
Yeah,
He got a nice
GT53 AMG.
That was clean. One of my favorite cars he's ever owned on.
I can't get by those cars out of V8, bro. I really can't.
I love Mercedes, bro. Honestly.
You own the Scat Pack.
I know, but my next car would be a Mercedes.
Is it-
Over a Beamer, bro. I don't like Beamers.
Is it because of lights?
Huh?
You like the lights in the car?
Yeah, I like to feel pretty in the car.
That was the gayest thing you've ever said.
Hey, yo.
There's nothing.
I could say that.
There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Gay, bro.
It's 2024.
What's wrong with being gay? Not that.
Did I say something wrong with it? I said it's the gayest thing you said. Description.
All right, look, can I finish this story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Continue.
So basically, he's been telling me since I was in high school, but I want to go the traditional route because my mom did. You got to go to college, this and that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And then I finished college, and instead of people hiring because of COVID, everybody was getting fired, right? And then, my cousin was like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Well, what options do you have now? And I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. And been there ever since, and I don't regret it.
And became one of the best salesmen.
It takes a lot of time.
He's just fast on the phone.
Yeah, he gets more opportunities.
He still goes to the store. Deals for him.
Best is
Bunch of haters.
depends on how you look at it.
At bringing people in.
Bunch of haters out here, but it is what it is.
Hating if it's facts.
Yeah, those checks don't lie. And
Checks are lying son of a.
Checks are opportunity,
yeah.
The opportunity that he gets the most opportunity right in the store. So obviously the check's gonna always be nice.
Hey, so
When I was there, bro.
Very nice.
When I was there, bro, he had trouble on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
wait, how did your lifestyle change though? Because you said you were living within your means back then, and then obviously you started making more money.
Oh yeah.
Did your lifestyle change? Did your bills change?
You just bought an M2.
It's crazy. Yeah. I just got an M2. That was a big decision.
We're in a three-story house right now.
I thought about it for, I don't know. I became a little bit more impulsive, which is a bad thing, I feel like, but I still do it within reason. Like, I don't go above my means, but
No, yeah, Santos is cheap still.
yeah.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah, he's
Honestly, yeah, a little bit.
He's
Like Mr.
cheap because he
Krabs.
spends a lot and he has a lot of bills.
Huh? There is a lot of bills. There's a lot of bills.
Santos likes to go on fancy dates, so hit him up.
But that's why I don't talk to girls because he wants to spend the money on the dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Crack the code.
Yeah.
Just say that's
Yeah.
Darn. Yeah.
We got him.
What about you, Raffi? How did you start?
Honestly, I honestly, okay, I'm gonna start off like this. I could have gone into car sales way back in like right when COVID was starting, late 2019, early 2020. I had a chance to work at Lexus Beverly Hills and Lexus Woodland Hills. I didn't take either one because I was like, you know what, I'm going to school right now. It's gonna be tough to do both, and I ended up turning it down and then working at a smoke shop instead, just because like it's part time, it's cash, it was easier. But years later, like literally 2 years later. I needed the extra money. I had just left the shooting. I ended up working at a shooting range. I left the shooting range. I was like, I need extra money. Left the gym because it just wasn't good money. My dad wasn't doing good, so I needed the extra cash. And there was nothing that made more than like $4 or $5 grand a month without a degree, especially not during COVID. So I was like, I don't know what to do. And my sister brought up the fact that she was a finance manager at Mercedes-Benz Van Nuys for like 4 years, and then Calabasas for a couple years too. She was a finance director at some point, so. She told me it was really good money. I remember her. She would come home with a brand new Mercedes every other like 3-4 months.
Big lease.
She'd come home with Gucci, with Louis Vuitton, Chanel.
Like, how?
And I was like, that's crazy.
How old is your sister?
Now she's about to be 36 this year.
So she's like, what, 13 years older than you?
She's 12 years old.
12 years?
Oh, so
Yeah, so you were very young when you were seeing
I
this,
was
so-
really young, so like I was a kid seeing this. It didn't hit me till like later on, and I was like, you know what? Like,
That's how she was able to do
I
it.
was like, that was like $10,000-$15,000 worth of like stuff every month. And then obviously, even us, we wouldn't spend 10-15 bands a month. We wouldn't.
No.
But she was working as a finance director, so she was making good money. Good money. So that's kind of what got me into it. And then I applied with, I don't know if you guys remember Cheyenne.
Yeah.
I love Cheyenne.
Okay.
And
Okay, look at the camera.
so he ended up interviewing me and gave me the job on the spot, and ended up working there, and that was that. You know?
I feel like everybody was getting jobs on the spot at that time.
Yeah.
I applied on Indeed.
People were leaving because it wasn't there a GM change right before I got there.
No, right before. I think me.
No, me.
I started April. Oh, when you were
right when I got in there, that's when they just Vikas had just left.
yeah, because I started April, and then I heard like the dealership had like 2 new GMs and stuff. It was like, oh,
Maybe like a few weeks.
Yeah, so they were changing like all the staff. Like when that GM left, usually at a dealership when GMs leave or managers leave, they take the people with them,
yeah.
right? So they took everyone with them, and that was that. So
Yeah.
they were hiring everybody.
I got hired on the spot too, just because my brother was a manager.
So you didn't get interviewed?
No, I got interviewed by John, but it was like the quickest interview ever, honestly.
What's your name?
John was
Leo.
pretty much
And who's your
straightforward.
brother? Eric. Okay, cool.
okay, cool, you're hired.
How did you get hired by John if you started before me?
Yeah.
No, he started.
I went
before-
into
you were-
John's
you were
office and he
porter.
just interviewed me. It was like
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. John was a
They
used
probably
car
knew
manager
they
when I was a porter.
knew what was gonna happen.
John
before
was
they
probably in sales maybe like only a month or so after.
Because I started April. John was already my GM at
I
that
started-
time.
Yeah, but he probably. But keep in mind, when GMs leave, they know. Like they don't tell us, but
Yeah,
the GMs
yeah,
don't.
they
Oh
know.
no, you're right. It was a few months
Yeah.
while John was the GM. Yeah,
So he
It
probably
was a few
knew that
months.
he was leaving, that Vikas was leaving, and Bob already told him like, "Hey, you're gonna be GM."
No, there was like a whole thing going on in the dealership when I was a porter, and they were trying to figure out who was going to be the GM, and then that's when they came up with, because obviously what's the name of them?
Right,
doing
was-
BDC, like
yeah.
grabbing. So they were trying to figure out who was going to take the position, if they're going to hire out, and then that's when I guess it was like there was like at some point like a clash of like people in the dealership trying to take over.
Yeah.
And
Power struggles.
Just just power struggles. Like, oh, these people have this experience, that's not, and that's when that's why I had a co.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we're getting a little, not really off topic, but I feel like the topic's gonna be a little bit disinteresting for viewers right now, because we're just talking about like our.
What was the
Yeah, we
next
should stop name
question?
dropping.
Let's
What was the
kind of
next topic?
move on to with car sales. Do you have any regrets or anything you're happy about with car sales?
What do you mean?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't like the job.
Really? You don't like?
What?
You don't like selling cars?
I feel like I don't like the job because of the hours, but it's very, I don't know, it's very
Rewarding.
Like,
You know,
rewarding.
a lot
yeah,
of
it's very-
people have become really successful off of car sales, not because like, oh, you know, they moved up in the company. I'm talking they made like a couple hundred bands a year for, you know,
That's what I'm saying.
3-4
It's
years.
rewarding. I just personally, I don't like spending all that time there. You know, every month you could have the best month ever. You could have the best thing ever. Then next month you start all over from zero, and it's just like, you know, every
Slap
month you
in
got
the
to
face.
put. You definitely have to put in work every month. You know, even you having one day where you're just like, I'm gonna chill today, that could affect your whole month.
Yeah, I've done that before. We're end of the month. I'm like, one.
You don't have to worry about that.
Damn,
'Cause you get a lot of opportunities, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. It's almost bad.
Too many opportunities.
Even like Santos chilling, he's just on the phone, literally, dude. He's like on TikTok on the phone. Crazy, bro. I'm just literally staring at it, waiting for that thing to ring.
And then Leo goes,
He gets me, bro.
So for you to answer that question, it was just like the time is something.
Yeah,
you don't
like the time of it.
what else do you
takes
have
too
to
much
do?
all day.
What do you feel like you'll be doing with your time?
I don't know. I just feel like like for example, my other jobs, like Best Buy that I worked, right? I feel like I had much more time to do something else. For example, if I was off at 7, I was off at 7, right? Here, if I'm off at 7, who knows? Maybe I'm still here by 1 a.m. I've done that before.
Yeah.
2 a.m. You know, you can't really plan stuff with people either because you can, but you might end up be a little late.
But wouldn't you say that that's like a give or take for the money? So being in car sales allows you to make the money so that you can have freedom when you request time off and in order to do the things you want, as compared to working a 9 to 5 and you have less money.
Well, it depends.
You have
Depends
to
on the
actually-
job. I mean, there's
you know.
people that I know that work 9 to 5 or rarely even work, and they're still able to. But again, that's
They're
maybe
broke.
a certain skill set. No, they got money. They'll go on vacation. They'll do their thing and still have a good, good hours and everything else. So it just really depends. You get a skill set. You get a job that pays well for that skill set. But I mean, it's rewarding, but it's just a lot of time. That's what I'd say.
What have you taken a vacation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even when I was at Best Buy, I was taking vacations. I wouldn't say it's a big difference, but definitely the money's better. The money's better. That's why it's more rewarding.
What about you, Leo?
Well,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
bro,
let me ask you a question. Are you ever like paying attention on the podcast? Like ever? Do you ever know what's going on?
What do you feel like is the most rewarding thing for you?
I be seeing Leo. He's like this, bro. He's staring like.
I like well, when I started, I really didn't know much about cars. Like
Still don't.
And anything? Yeah, honestly, I don't. But it was like me like learning like different cars and everything. And I honestly like talking to people. So me meeting new people, going on like test drive, explaining the cars to them. I find that like kind of like interesting.
That's like the best part. I mean,
What's the coolest thing that's happened to you guys in car sales? Like I'm talking about like unexpected. This was dope.
I sold the cars to celebrities.
Like
Yeah.
Celebrities.
I'm not too thrilled by selling cars to celebrities. I get.
Yeah, Rashan thinks if you fangirl, you're a bitch.
Well,
No,
I didn't
it's
fangirl.
not
It's just,
that.
it was cool meeting the person. You know?
It's like I feel like you working a deal. If anything, sometimes working a celebrity just makes the situation more high stressful because again the
high-end clients.
Yeah, you got high end
I
clients
feel like
trying
that's
to make.
the easiest way. Just treat them like people and just do your job.
Yeah, but
they'll be
at,
happy.
at the end, the manager treat him like hey, is this guy? Don't mess up. And it's like, bro,
They're putting extra pressures.
Yeah,
If
it's
you're not
like-
secure in
it's-
your position, Rashan, then you're an emotional man.
what do you? Huh?
If you're not secure in your ability to sell a car to a celebrity,
How does that correlate to what I
just-
said?
you're saying like, oh, like they're all high strung, high end celebrities, high end clients, and like they put the extra pressure. You're saying like, who
No,
cares?
not the client. The
The manager puts like, who
Management.
cares?
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody
I feel like
cares.
it's your job.
I am. I never said I wasn't doing my
Is he tripping
job.
up right now? Oh my
What
god!
is he talking about?
I feel like when I sold those cars to like Kevin Gates, it
That just
wasn't, like,
made no
anything-
sense. What he was saying
He's gonna
right
slip
now.
that in there like that.
Yeah.
Who
When I
knows?
sold those two-
Hold on, what'd you say?
when I sold those two TRXs to Kevin Gates, it wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't treating him like anything, It was just
I think
normal
part of the
person.
reason is because we live in LA. Like other people that may be watching us in Ohio or Arkansas or whatever it may be. It's
You
like
just name like as a city you're from
Arkansas
or a state you're from.
No,
He's not even from
I'm
there.
not from there. I'm from Florida.
What? Really?
He's only been there once, bro.
One of them in the
Really?
I'm a kid
I don't
for
believe
like
he's
a
in
week.
Florida though, but whatever.
I don't believe you're from Florida. There's no way.
I lived there for a year, whatever.
That don't
Not from
count.
Florida. If anything, I'm from Florida. I grew
There we go, Rashad Wade's
up
Max
actually in
Praise.
Florida. I lived in Fort Lauderdale and
Name a
and
city,
Hollywood,
Fort Lauderdale.
Florida.
Name a city in
that-
Fort Lauderdale.
is that a
It's
city?
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale is the city, and then Hollywood.
Name a
Florida.
street.
Cultured pig.
Yeah, I mean, I was only like
We're always going to.
I lived there from 4 to like 7
Ow.
or 8 years, almost 8 years old. So
Damn.
I lived there for a while.
Yeah, it's very humid out there.
I honestly didn't notice it when I was a kid.
I feel like we're going off topic.
Yeah, no, but I mean, for me, exciting. I don't think I've had anything crazy exciting other than spotting a few celebrities. But I mean, at Best Buy, I would spot them all the time too, like Dwight Howard. That was pretty cool.
Do you feel like people misunderstand the car business?
In what sense?
Like misunderstand salespeople. They misunderstand how cars
yeah.
are sold. Like
People hate us.
They think we're scumbags.
misunderstand like their payments. Like what?
Oh
is-
my God. A lot of people, even though despite them having the internet and everything, they're still very uneducated where they're saying crazy stuff that just doesn't make sense.
Premium is illegal.
Like literally, I had a guy recently that said, why do I have to pay taxes?
They watch
what?
too many TikToks, bro. That's the
Yeah,
issue.
like, and
Well,
then
they told me if I register my car here, then I don't have to pay taxes. Okay, do you have a business there? No. Do you live there? No. Do you have ID there? No. Okay, so how you gonna register there? Just put there. Just put that state on there. Like no.
Man,
how
I
it
feel like
works.
a lot of people are just they're used to like old ways of things. So a lot of times when they do buy a car, so a lot of people have their car for like 5-6 years, and so when the time comes up and like they're trading their car and they're trying to get
Times
in the
change,
car,
they don't know.
Yeah, times change and they're not
Yeah.
pretty like they're not caught up on what's
like
happening.
interest rates.
Yeah.
Like interest rates.
Interest
right?
rates, they skyrocketed after COVID. It was ending, and COVID they were down, and people were still complaining about the rates 2-3%. Oh, 4% is crazy high, and now we're at 9, 10, 11, 12, like being
And
the
that's a
regular.
great
Hey,
rate.
I got a question for you guys. I've been out since November. Are rates coming down at all or no?
No.
No,
Not
they're
even
still
close.
not doing it up yet.
There's,
If anything,
there's
they're
supposed
going
to be, there's supposed to be a meeting with corporate and just in general.
I heard
Chrysler
about
Financial. Yeah, so they're supposed to Chrysler Capital. My bad. They're supposed to start bringing down rates towards April. So hopefully,
Towards April, I don't even see it happening, honestly.
no, they're gonna start lowering in April. So like maybe like 1% or 2% every couple months.
Not 1%, probably
Oh.
0.2 point.
I have a question for you guys. This is like going off topic, but have you guys ever sold a car to like a friend, a family member, and then
I hate that.
they literally think you give them a bad deal after a while just because they're negative? Have you? Guys
I
ever
hate work.
dealt with
That's
that?
the exact
Negative.
reason I don't like working with family. I swear, every time I get a family member, I tell them, "Hey, go to this dealership. Don't come to me."
No, I mean, I help out family. I mean, at the end of the day, if I can, I can.
I just educate him. I had a friend that bought a car at Honda. I told him, the payment that he should be at with whatever he's putting down. He told me the payment he was comfortable at, and I was like, okay, if they don't have room to get you lower, I was like, try to get the lowest payment you can. Obviously we gonna move to because we know how the game work, and so I told him get the payment that you want, and if they bring you into finance and they try to sell you a warranty, just know that they left room on the table, because if they tell you that's all they got, then they didn't give you no big discount or anything. So I try to help my people. I try to educate them. I think I just had a referral from Oscar. He had a boy that he doesn't understand how the monthly payment doesn't equal the out the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, that's like a $80,000 car. I'm like, that's not how it works. He's looking at a $50,000 car and doing the math times 72. And I'm like, bro, it's not 0% APR.
Yeah.
Nobody gets 0% APR if you're.
What would you tell someone buying a car for the first time? Like, if you had to give some tips and tricks, I feel like this would be good for some social clips, and I'll say it flat out. Let's go around one by one and just give like your number one tip for buying a car. What do you think is very important to know? What do you not say? What do you not do at a dealership? Start with you, Mr. Salesman.
You want to watch Raffimoosh on TikTok?
No, bro, give me a second. Give some real advice. I don't like my cartel skits.
No, I mean, I think first and foremost is like, I gotta say, man, like shop everywhere. I know it's
my God, why did you tell him that?
Why would you say that, bro?
That's insane. Hold on.
Okay.
The reason why Rashan just said, why are you saying that, and why these two got mad is because that's an actual good tip that they don't want to deal with. When it comes to trying to shop, that's annoying to them because it's not an easy sale.
You know what it is? It's because I'm an honest salesperson.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times that I deal with people that want to waste my time, it's just annoying. So I want to get you the best deal today, whatever I'm able to do. Don't shop around.
But
come to me. But and then I have to deal with the stigma of being attached to, oh, you're just trying to make a sale, you're trying to make a quick sale. It's like, yes, because I know that I can give you the best deal that as possible. For the most part, being at the dealer that I'm at, dealing with how we work, and it's like,
but
again, we have
question.
I know, but we have a stigma attached to us that makes it hard to sell to people. It's like, oh, you guys are just trying to make a sale. It's good. It's good. And so I don't want it to be in front of my face. That's fine. But yeah.
Well, that's my
advice. We have a stigma. So I feel like shopping around, if you know you can get the best deal, it's like, okay, you know what? What's the comfortable payment you're at? The best deal is the payment that you're willing to pay, right? Mm-hmm. So why shop around if you already have a number in mind? If I want to be at a $450 payment, hey, can I get man, that's just unrealistic.
Because you can still get a better payment, even if you're comfortable with a certain payment.
Well, if I ask someone what's the payment they're willing to pay, I'm gonna get them that payment.
Okay, if they say 400, that's just the best payment's like 550. You're off by.
And I'm like, if I need to get more down payment, I'm like, hey, this is our absolute best. Like, you can't find it nowhere. Obviously, a lot of people don't know me, so it's gonna be hard to convince them. Like, hey, I'm giving you the best deal. And so it's like, hey, what are you comfortable paying? What is something that you feel like you can do monthly? Hey, man, 500 my max. I'm like, okay, let's make it make sense. You're looking at a $70,000 car. You really think I'm gonna get to close to 500 with zero down? It's like, I do the consulting with them just to let them know, like, hey, like on average, I sell these at this price.
Yeah.
Okay, my manager might be willing to do this today because it's something we could do. Don't shop us around, because then, again, this is hours of process. Then it's hours of process getting them in. Then it's hours of process submitting to the bank. A lot of stuff is going into it. So that's why shopping around, all it does is elongate that person not coming to the dealership, getting the car that day they're actually trying to buy.
Well, I'm thinking it from their perspective. I think that's a fair advice. Shop it around, and
I think if you come to us, just be ready to buy.
What would you give advice?
I'll be like, just shop interest rates. Honestly, like go to different credit unions and see what they offer. And
so you're saying get pre-approved?
Get pre-approved, yeah.
Okay, explain that. What is getting pre-approved?
Pre-approved is when you already come in already with like an interest rate. So just say you go to Logix, you get like a 6%, and you tell us, hey, I got a 6% from Logix, I want this car, and I'll be like, okay, let me try to beat it. If I can't beat it, give you an option contract, go to Logix.
And what if they don't have a check from Logix?
They don't have a check. Well, I just give them an option contract. They can still shop at Logix. They can still shop.
What's an option contract? Because people.
What is an options contract?
An option contract. So you basically take our rate, and now you have. Basically, I think it's 3 days.
3 to 5 days.
3 to 5 days to go shop around at different credit unions, different banks to try to get a better APR than what we are currently giving you.
So it's basically just a backup.
That's backup, yeah.
See, now is there any downsides to that?
You're just going to be running your credit.
Okay.
Twice,
yeah.
And so a lot of times you deal with people that don't want to do the option contract. So again, how do you make that sale?
No, well, I'll just pretty much just...
You got convinced at that point.
I'll try to see what their credit is, what their history, and I'll try to educate them on what APR they're gonna get due to the current market.
And what if they have the credit to get that APR at Logix?
Then if I can't beat the APR they're getting at Logix, I'll tell them just to go to Logix.
and then come back with a check.
Question you.
And you come back with a check.
Question you.
What?
Well, because I'm telling you, because again, they're shopping the rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what a real car seller do, and you show them the difference in payment is, well, if you're right there at the rate, you kind of get the lowest possible rate. Obviously, are you going to submit your credit twice if it's only going to make a difference in $20 on your payment?
Some people might like that.
$20,
yeah, right?
A lot. Most of the time that you make the sale, it doesn't make a difference. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how would you do it?
I was gonna say some people it's just not worth their time to go to another bank,
Exactly.
run their credit, wait that process, figure out what's going on with the rates.
Come back with the checks. Hope the car is there. You done? Yeah.
What advice would you give?
The best advice I would give is know what kind of car you're looking for, know what your credit is, and if you don't have the credit, get a cosigner. Just do your homework on what is needed to buy a car, and once you do that, make sure the car that you're looking for is the car you actually want to buy, because a lot of times people come to the dealership and they don't even like the car that they're looking for. And so again, that's why it goes on to say, like, hey, if you're shopping for a car, know what your needs are, know what you want, and do your homework on interest rates, credit, and all that stuff. And then that makes the sale that much easier for us. Because if you come in knowing all that, hey, I'm comfortable with a $500 payment. Know the payment you want to be at. Know what your credit is. Again, know that you want to buy the car. When I go buy something, I know I'm getting it.
Yeah, and choose a car in your budget.
I don't go into the store and be like, man, I wanted a Gatorade, but the Snap was looking better. I go in the store and I get a Gatorade, and I know the price of the Gatorade, and I know how to buy the Gatorade. You see what I'm saying?
Well, some people test drive and they don't feel comfortable with the car they initially thought.
That's the story. Yeah. It's like if you chase Gatorade,
so
try it out, you don't like it.
So again, if you know about the car, today we got YouTube. You can do a review on the car. You can hear people's aspect
That's
of the
what
car.
I'm doing. I'm looking
You
for
can do
cars.
so much homework, the ride of a car, and so it's like you're not gonna go hop into a Supra if you're 6'5".
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? Like, oh man, this is my dream car. How? You're 6'5". So it's like, again, people just need to do their homework, know what they want out of the car, and just know that they're ready to buy. Because again, this is our time that you're wasting, and I feel like from business aspect, you're consulting with someone in a business transaction. So I feel like a lot of people don't conduct themselves professionally. And it's a business transaction. You're making a $30,000, $40,000, $60,000, $70,000 purchase. You should be taking the responsibility of like, hey, I'm making a big purchase. This is what I want. Not coming to the dealership, wasting our time, not being unsure what you want. Then, hey, this might be the right fit. Then it's the payment. I don't know what the payment was. You just give me your best payment. They talk around in circles all day. And at the end of the day, you could have been doing something else, probably assisting someone else that knew what they wanted. And so that's the big takeaway.
Part of the job, though, is teaching customers.
It is
showing them
it is
different
part of the
types
job,
cars.
because a lot of time, again, I feel like we are teachers in that aspect. But then again, our jobs are on the line.
Yeah.
In the same breath, we have things we have to do. We have
That's why you got to
we have
pick
to
and choose
meet.
your battles. You decide which customers are going to buy, which customers are not going to buy. Like realistically, if a customer comes just to test drive a car, they don't know what car they want. They want to test drive a Jeep Wrangler, let's just say, and they just come in just to see if they like it. Realistically, a test drive and pulling the cars will take you an hour, hour and a half. Yeah, that's a good amount of time. But if they don't like the car, they don't like the car. You can't sell them something they don't want, and that's something that a lot of salesmen do, where they try to sell something to someone that doesn't want that. Like I don't know if you guys have ever seen that one video. What's his name? The Wolf of Wall Street guy, the real Wolf of Wall Street.
Just because a lot of people get sold stuff that they don't want because they don't know what they want themselves. So I mean, just continue.
That comes to the process of finding out what car you want. Like if you're trying to get a Wrangler, you're not going to switch to a Supra.
And it happens.
I mean, it does happen.
How
Like I
often
came
does that
from a
happen
Wrangler, and it's like,
versus-
oh, the Supra look nice. I fit in the Supra.
But how often does that happen versus from a Wrangler to a Grand Cherokee or a Wrangler to a Bronco? Like,
I've done it before.
I had a customer,
That's why.
but how often does it happen
never.
compared to like a Wrangler to a Grand Cherokee?
SUV.
I had a customer that came in to do a lease buy on his Compass, and he left with a Hellcat.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And,
Yeah.
then he traded in that Hellcat, got a jailbreak.
And
Best
I
customer
had a guy looking to get into a Grand Cherokee, and then he was trading in a Honda. He didn't know what his credit was, and he just like, man, I like the Hellcats. Like, what's the price on that? And then he ended up getting the Hellcat.
Hellcrap.
Yeah. He ended up getting a Hellcat. So it's like, again, not knowing his credit. Dude had a house in his name. Didn't even know he had a house in his name.
But see, that's the thing. See, when it comes to stuff like that, that's a one-off.
It's not a one-off. It happens more often than you would imagine.
You're right.
Happen,
It happens more often than you think.
it would happen.
But for every 100 car sales, you have a lot more people that switch from a Wrangler to a Grand Cherokee than from a Wrangler to a Hellcat. It's just a lower frequency.
I had a customer
lower
switch from my Hellcat to a Challenger SXC V6.
All right,
No way.
I just keep
Credit was in there. His credit was in there.
That also makes sense too.
60.
But see, that also makes sense too. That customer decided, hey, I really don't want the power. I don't really need the.
No. He wanted it. He just didn't have the credit for it.
Okay, then there's that. I'm trying to get in some decent looking clips, and y'all are just talking.
Take care of your credit.
So okay, now we're on that topic of credit. When it comes to credit, what do people make a big mistake for? Like, what is the biggest mistake when it comes to putting into credit?
Signing for somebody else.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest mistake.
Yeah, I had a lot of customers
I
come
think
in.
that's the biggest mistake. That's a big one, but I don't think it's the biggest, like most common.
So what is the
common
biggest?
mistake?
What do you think the biggest?
I would say the most common mistake is not making your payment on time. People do that a lot more often. That hurts their credit a lot more than someone signing for someone else.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a good one.
Nah, I've had customers come back in, say like, hey, I need to talk to a finance manager because I co-signed for this person, so and so. They're not making the payments. It's messing up my credit, and it's like, bro, you just signed for some, not a random, maybe family or something, but then that family member ended up screwing them over. And,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
people
their
need to
credit
know
just drops
the
Thanks.
importance of their credit.
Yeah,
Would
it's
y'all
like,
ever co-sign for someone?
no.
Never.
I'm already co-signing for someone, so
Yeah, your girlfriend doesn't count because you.
Yeah, no, your girlfriend's account.
Yeah.
If my girl,
If
like,
you don't pay for the car, I'm not talking about that.
well, because I see it like this: if you co-sign for someone and you trust him that much, like if I was to co-sign for him, and let's say he lost his job, I know that I have to bear the responsibility of helping him make that payment. Obviously, I want to get paid back, but I'm not gonna let my credit get affected because he's not able to pay the full amount. Like as long as he's able to pay something and I can pay the rest, I know I just got to come out of pocket because again, I signed with the guarantee that like, hey, my boy's gonna take care of the payment, and you know, hey, if something happens, I'm not gonna let my credit go. I know I got to make the payment. I'm gonna be upset about it.
Yeah, but guess what? You can also take the car at that point, but under your name too.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes things just happen to people. Like I had a guy, quick little sidebar. He had a Hellcat jailbreak, like the red eye jailbreak. And he bought it, couldn't afford the payments. The payments like $2,000 a month. He let the payment be late for 3 months. I was like, bro, you could have put this car on Toro, and you could have, you know, did anything
money
to make your money back or make some of the money to make the payment. And he's like, oh man, and think about that. I was like, bro, you're gonna let a $2,000 payment lapse for 3 months? His sister's credit went from being like 7 something to 590.
damn.
And so I was like, you know, that's like a big thing. And then him not allowing his sister to be like, hey, help me out. You know, there's so many ways to make money nowadays that, again, being late on a payment is the last thing you want to do, especially when you have a car like that. And then you need a car in LA to get around. And so it's like getting your car repoed, not being able to get another car when that happens, get a cheaper car. It's going to make your life harder. You're going to be paying $600-$700 for a $20,000 car with a 26% interest rate. It's going to be insane. Yeah. You know, you just put yourself in a boat. And so I feel like a lot of times, like,
Hellcat, get it, boat.
you put yourself in a boat, it's like, you know, it's sinking when you don't know the options you have when you don't know your credit.
Sitting right there. There's a patch for the boat right there. Just deal with it till you get to shore. Like,
exactly.
Just swim your way out of it, basically.
Yeah,
See,
just
you
let
said,
your family know.
You said you would pay so your credit wouldn't tank, right?
Yeah.
So some people out of pettiness, they won't do the payment, like, oh no, the car could get reported or anything, and then their credit ends up getting tanked because they don't care. They don't want to make the payment for the other person that they co-signed for.
Yeah, I mean, I think another one, which isn't a big one. It's not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not a big one like those, but it's common too. A lot of people don't use their credit. Like they have a credit line, but they don't use their credit. Like they don't really know how important it is to spend money on that credit card, pay it off at the end of the month, or pay it off in small payments and have a good usage of it. But I've had a lot of customers that, I only have one credit card and for this and this and that. I only use it when I go here at this store. I have a Target credit card. I only use it when I go to Target, and they just stay within that realm of that kind of credit card.
That goes on again. I feel like just not knowing
credit
anything or like doing your homework again, because credit is like the most important thing in America. Like people don't know, you know, we're not taught in schools and stuff like that.
Unless you're just about to say that we're not taught in school.
When you're out there, credit is the biggest thing that you need to have. I feel like you should start at an early age, and then, you know, you keep your usage down, make sure you pay your bills on time, so you could be set, because your credit is more important than money. A lot of times, I mean, especially in times that we are now, a lot of people are short on money, and so you need to have your credit if you're able to know that you're make a payment back. Like, you know, if you can hey, I need to borrow this, I need this money for this. And then if you're in a situation where you make a good amount of money, you know you can pay it back, and then you have that responsibility of just knowing that you can be on time with your payments. 'Cause, again, I would co-sign for someone's in dire need for a car, and I know my credit's there, and I feel like I can trust them, and I'll be like, hey, you know, just I'm co-signing for you, and if something ever happens, just let me know, because the last thing I want to do is my credit start going down because you lost your job or stuff like that. Just pay me back, you know, like I'll help you out.
Sure, bro.
You have a good heart.
Thank you for letting me know that, bro.
Hellcat coming soon.
GTR on the way.
Oh hell nah, that's gonna be my GTR.
Let me flip up, bro. It's yours, bro, for sure.
Big Urus truck, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, should we get a Urus?
Dude,
No.
that'll be sick. Why not? Hellcat Durango.
Look at it like this, bro.
Hellcat Durango would be tough.
Hellcat Durango. No,
Bro,
no,
it's
no,
gonna be
Grand
the
Cherokee
guarantor.
Summit, bro. Grand Cherokee Summit.
Look, put it this.
Everybody in LA drives a Urus, bro.
But here's the thing: a Urus is sick. Let everybody know they drive a Urus. That's still a Urus.
It is. That's
We all fit in the Urus.
If I was, like this, dog. What the?
No, I'll be driving.
I drive.
So,
What's the insurance on the Urus?
insurance on Urus probably like for us, if it's a commercial policy,
put it
you
on-
probably do a commercial policy. Oh, like $500, $600 a month. Plus the payment about $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Let's just say.
Yeah, guys, I already have a car and I pay $1,000 and my insurance is $500. So I don't need another $500. Or
But we could rent that out. We could rent that out. If we're each putting in $700 to $1,000 a month, which we easily all could, rent it out, make back, rent it out for $600 a day.
He wants me to
Can we
spend more
rent our
money.
cars too?
You want to rent your cars out on yours? On your
Urus, I'm true.
no.
Turo?
I think I'd rather get the Durango Hellcat though.
Dude, the Durango Hellcat.
that way we all have more space, bro. That'd be cheaper.
cheaper,
We all
more space,
That's it.
and we'll get a better deal.
I'm sorry. Like I know I sell these cars and they're cool cars for what
You
they
don't sell
are.
them.
I would never drive a Hellcat or a Hellcat Durango or a Challenger Charger.
What's up with this dude?
That's why he got fired.
For that payment, for that payment,
What payment? It's like $1,300 on the lease. What are you talking about? What payment?
Dude, it'll be way
That's nothing.
better, bro.
$1,300 on a lease.
Yes.
with like $5K down.
Yeah.
On a Hellcat Durango.
Yeah.
And they're getting discontinued, so
Are y'all
the value's
kidding?
gonna
Is it
go
really
up.
$1,300
Yeah.
now? Bro, it was like the last one I sold was like $2,200 a month.
Bro, I just sold one that was like $1,600 payment
With how much
But that
down?
was SRT.
with the zero down.
That was the SRT, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. You're right.
So how does that make sense?
Huh?
Y'all are tripping right now. I swear to God.
Well, I said 5K down.
Well, that's because that's for other people, not us.
Yeah, for me, I already did my deal.
Baba John, you know.
Either way, for that much per month, let's say $1,300 a month with $5K down. Let's just extrapolate it. Zero down, you're looking at $1,500 a month. Let's just say, right? For $1,500 a month, zero down, there's a lot of other cars that I would get besides a Hellcat. Things with actual features. The Hellcat Durango maximum, all it's going to come with is heated seats, cooled seats, and a nice sound system.
And wireless Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, and,
Okay,
Not a big
X5M,
and the
X6M.
wine, the wine,
And it's gonna go.
B7.
The B7, the B7 Alpino, bro. That
Oh,
one.
that was
Oh,
tough.
no, the
No,
Alpina
dude,
is solid.
Hellcat Durango, bro. They're discontinuing them, and it's sick, bro. It's a Hellcat.
Yeah, it's a car we gotta keep.
Dude,
X7 or
captain
BMW just gonna
chairs
give
will
that
be
back.
in there like,
least
dude,
we're
what
gonna
just
get
put
that back.
stars on the roof or something? Try to
Dude, I wouldn't do that.
Also,
I
what's
wouldn't
done
do
there?
that. Like realistically, there's, I don't know.
all-wheel
bro,
drive,
it's
man.
not a high.
Do you have a
car.
dream car?
I do have a dream car.
What's your dream car?
You're talking about for a daily driver dream car?
Yeah, daily driver dream car.
Call me basic. Actually, don't call me basic. GT4 RS. Porsche GT4 RS. Cayman, not the 911, a Cayman.
That's your dream car?
For a daily driver,
daily?
yeah, because I'd feel bad daily driving an Aventador.
Okay.
I would daily drive a GTR for sure.
I would daily drive a GTR.
Yeah, GT.
I think that's
basic.
But is that your dream car though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, yeah.
I would
Daily
say so.
driving
For me,
Yeah.
yeah.
A
If not a-
GTR
That
is your
car,
dream
bro,
car?
is
Yeah.
beautiful, bro.
A
Every
daily
time I see
driver
a GTR,
Why not?
yeah.
Yeah.
it just shows. It just
Honestly, my dream car is an Aston Martin. That's a
he
car that I
classy.
would
Yeah.
yeah, that's my dream car. Since
Still slow.
I don't you don't worry about
He's not
being
looking for
fast.
speed. He's looking
yeah.
for class.
Yeah.
See,
You're
Aston
gonna
Martins are
Ashton
cool
Blunt
too.
the Ashton.
I drove one a couple weeks ago. Remember the video I did with the red one?
Yeah.
They're really cool. They're really fun to drive. They sound great. They look good from the outside. Interior is basic. For me, the interior is really important. The interior on the Hellcat's basic. On the GTR is basic. On the
And when you say basic,
He
what
wants
do you mean?
the little lights. He wants to feel a little,
Dude,
I don't
the
even
light?
need
a
ambient
little
lighting.
vibes.
So
the
what?
Cayman GT4 does not have ambient lighting.
For you, what is like basic
Yeah.
interior?
What makes it not basic?
It's just the design of it. Like if you look at exotic cars, their interiors are typically, even a Lamborghini Huracan.
Like what
typically
what
basic.
type of Aston are you talking about though?
This was I think it was a Vantage or a DB.
So like the lowest trim
I
of
don't
like
know. No.
Aston? Well, I mean, you're saying it's basic trim, so I mean,
It's still an Aston Martin. It's still a $150,000 car. So call it the lowest trim.
no, they're like 120, like 100K. No, like,
Not
no.
new. No.
I don't know. We'll have to fact
He
check.
already
that.
submitted his credit. What do you mean?
He already submitted his credit. He's happy they're buying the car. He's researched all of it. He sells them now. He knows everything about them. But no, it's just they keep their. If you've noticed, exotic cars usually keep their interior relatively basic,
Yeah,
so that they stay timeless. There's a reason for that. They wanted to stay timeless so that you can't look at a 2001 and a 2022 and be like,
So much has changed.
so much has changed. Yeah, they're pretty basic. They're very timeless, but they're very basic. They usually don't even have infotainment system. At least the Aston has an infotainment system.
Well, I feel like I like that aspect of it because if you think about it, we drive Challenger Skypacks. The interior is
And
pretty basic.
That's for you guys.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like them. Is for me the
But
interior's
it's like
pretty
it's like basic nice. Like you
I
get
like
in
the
that car-
exterior a lot
Yeah.
on my car.
Yeah, I feel like that
exterior's
that matters more than interior for me. I feel like.
Yeah.
See, but when it comes down to two cars that both have really nice exterior, next step is look at the interior. And if you look at the Aston Martin versus the Hellcat or versus wide body Scat Pack, obviously I'm gonna take an Aston Martin. It looks way better.
Well, obviously, like triple the price.
That's what I'm saying. So now if you look at a Hellcat, that's 80,000, and M4, that's 80,000.
And 4 for sure.
I'm gonna go with the M4. They both look good from the outside, but the M4 you get a lot more car
M4 over what?
over a Hellcat.
Dude, but you see, my thing is, bro, with BMW, bro, everybody and their mom have a BMW. You know what I mean? With a
Everybody and their
Hellcat?
mom has a Hellcat.
No, they don't.
Nah, they don't.
Nah,
They don't.
stop. Bro,
Stop.
How often do you see a Hellcat on the
Hellcat?
street?
Every day.
Every 6 seconds.
No,
we live-
no way.
we're on-
bro.
no, not
way.
even.
I see a BMW literally like
We're
every
running out of
3
time,
Wait,
but
but
I'm
you
gonna fact check this real
But
quick.
you see the old BMWs, you don't see much of the
The BMW is still BMW, bro. Everybody got the BMW. They all-
we work
they all
on
the
we
same.
work on Dodge and we see Hellcats, right? But if you drive away from our dealership in any other location, you do not see Hellcats on the street. But we drive down
Because they get stolen.
Dude, every time we
wait.
see a Hellcat,
it
we're
gets
still
stolen?
like, oh, that's a Hellcat. When I see an M4, I'm just like, oh, it's a red. It's a red one now.
Yeah,
It's a blue one.
honestly, I don't even think you second look at. You
Dude, like I don't even look at them, bro. Like honestly, like I'm so over BMW, bro.
But the thing is that the Scat Pack and the Hellcat look exactly the same
Yeah.
from the exterior.
Just
for the most
one, you
part.
don't get
That's
the
why I
wine.
don't like my car. That's why I don't like the S5 because it looks just like an A5.
They do that for a reason because it's a brotherhood.
It's so
It's a
simple.
brotherhood. So it's like, hey,
He's
you
an
got that
ambassador
car.
for the brand.
Keep it packed.
You got that car? Hey,
Keep
but
it packed.
I know what kind of engine you pushing. That's why when you see a Hellcat, you see. When you see an M4, what do you really see?
The turbo, you hear the turbo, yeah.
Nah, what do you see? When you see Justin driving his car, what do you see?
This is what you see.
When you see Eric in his M4, what do you see?
Bro, I literally just see
Just a car.
BMW, bro.
When you see them at car
all I
meets,
see is a BMW, bro.
when
Honestly,
you see BMWs at car meet, what do you see?
Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, what do you guys prefer?
Running out of time.
Or Scat Pack.
they're obviously gonna choose BMW.
100%.
So many
Because you're so
BMW,
wrong.
Like,
Here's
There's a lot of Dodge fans.
I'm not even hyping up like Scat Packs or anything, but it's like when you see that car, it's like, oh man, a muscle car. Like, dang, look at that wide body. Oh, look at that Hellcat. Like, it has a
I look
notoriety.
at it and say, oh man, there's another one.
Well, you drive an Audi, so it's like no one ever
You
pulls
just a
up and
little
be like,
Audi.
oh, dang,
I don't
look
like
at
my car
Audi.
for that reason. If I don't like that car for that
You
reason.
love that car.
I don't. No, it's a cool car.
At least-
and he can
at least
attest. I
we
always
like
tell him I don't
our
like that car.
cars. You know what I'm saying?
I like it because of the interior is really nice on it. It got massage seats. It's cool. Has ambient light. I'm cool with it. I like it. But from the outside, it's very basic.
Damn,
That's
for a
why I don't
2013,
like
that's not bad.
it. Huh?
For a 2013, that's not bad.
You're so funny.
My feet.
Wait a minute. You don't want a car.
I
Lose
literally,
the broke home. Hey, look at my car.
I literally see to go pick this guy.
Let's
up
compare
just to
bank
get
accounts right
here.
now in front of the camera.
Man,
You don't want to do that, bro.
You don't want to do that.
I hate. She was got repoed for you guys. that
No, I
don't
did.
know.
It got
That's a couple
stolen.
things.
Let us know. Look, we're running out of time, so let us know what you guys think about that. Would you take a BMW over a Hellcat? What would you prefer in a car, interior, exterior, or what's the most important thing when it comes to buying a car? And with that being said, we'll see you guys next time.
Keep
Y'all
your
see you
credit
with a
up.
new car next month.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.